No, I would have thought that it would have just
All right, I
been
think should be
back.
Here,
Are we
guys.
back?
Back in black.
After our technical disasters?
Let's see.
Let's refresh it in a minute. That's sort of sad. I hate getting killed.
We died. Could be Derek's fault.
I mean, I see myself performing there.
Feel button's back. Hello.
We're back. Sorry about that. Technical guffaws. Well, there is construction going on in this building
That is true.
and next door in the other building we
And
have.
next door.
And the other buildings we have. But it's I think it's beyond the whole block, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be like Andertons of the Southeast, like Andertons with rednecks.
Casino complex.
I like it. It's like the Branch Davidians of Southern Pines. It's gonna be fantastic. Is that joke too soon? Okay, we're getting back.
who are
We're coming
they?
back for technical.
Who are they?
Is that? Can you see us? Can you see
Yes.
us? Are we good? We
Yes.
good, Derek? For the time being, I'm not going to say the LIVE word anymore because that's what killed it. Apparently,
That is
I
what
said
killed it.
Oh my gosh! I'll get back into Echo Park
Yes.
for a minute. I'm just enjoying the shenanigans of what just happened.
Mike pointed out. Yo. Yep. I think we're so far so good.
To break my
Echo
guitar
Parking.
here. Echo Parking. We're back to Echo Parks. Gee whiz, so where did we get cut off? I don't even remember what I was saying. Welcome back, guys. What's up, dude?
It's kind of like that thing where you're on the phone with someone and you just talking. Then you realize they've been gone for 5 minutes.
I do that. So I've got now like when I'm talking on the phone. My wife doesn't watch this, so I can let the secret out. So when I'm on the phone with my wife, I can wear my little headsets, and she's not there. I'm playing Diablo at the same time. Diablo 4. I'm not a heathen, but because I just put it on mute, and I can still level up, get some more loot, and talking to kids, and I'm still like killing the demons and fighting forth to save the universe.
What's your best guy now? The barbarian or who?
And I've sort of jumped back to Zach. I say I'm not all my characters. Zach is our musician Zach.
Yeah.
So I made a character that looks like Zach.
Right.
And he's a sorcerer.
A sorcerer. Okay.
He's an ice sorcerer, so because
Okay.
he's cool and he freezes things, and so he's my highest right now. I think he's like level 45.
Here's a good question.
Yes.
Is it harder to sell boutique guitars?
Yes.
There you go. That's the answer.
Oh,
It's
you want
that
me-
simple.
Shall I compound on that? Well, no, the reason it's harder is because a lot of people don't know what they are. Like Fender and Gibson and Martin are like these legacy brands that have been around for decades. And and as a great wise sage once said to me, if it wasn't in Woodstock, it's just making noise. He's like he's a great old guitar guy that I know. So it's hard. So these new makers that come up, they do have to do something special. Echo Park was sort of a unique thing, how that kind of arose to sort of a special place in the world. He sells quite a few, but he builds them very slowly and very methodically and somewhat crazedly, because you just never know what you're going to get. But it's definitely a different thing in selling them. It's much harder, I'd say.
I think people don't have a reference, so it's hard to sometimes, right? Because sometimes, well, you just never know.
Well, I feel like Gabriel with Echo Park he kind of went from like just building guitars to like rock stars are playing his guitars. This happened, 14, 15 years ago or something. I don't know what the timeline exactly was on that. Yeah. But and I'd never played I never known how good they were until I put my hands on one. And it sort of frustrated me because I don't like things that are different.
Here's a great question too.
Yes.
At what point does a brand change from boutique to mainstream? Are Sir and Nash still boutique? I think that depends on. There's a definition of boutique that means like made in small batches by hand. You know what I mean? Where they're not mass produced. But I think there's also almost like worship music has become like a genre. Like it's like it's got washy reverbs and delays and like certain stuff. I feel like there is a style of boutique where even if it's not necessarily boutique, like Sirs are boutique-like, but I don't know that I consider them boutique anymore.
I'm sort of in the same world. I'm on the same camp as you, I think, on that. It's tricky, and I can.
I mean, I don't
because I almost consider like the boutique has got to be such a small team.
And now Nash is funny because they are a small team, I think, but they build a lot of guitars and they're sort of parts casters, but man, they're good. And
they're good guitars. I don't like parts casters as much.
I don't know if this is true
thing
anymore, but I used to hear that it was only him or his son that touched the guitars for the most part.
I
So like that to me that leans into boutique. It just depends on what Like, does it have to be, you're carving your own neck and winding your own pickups?
Can you not use any CNC? Can you not use any of that? Who knows?
You got to mine your own nickel for the fret wire. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Gabriel does that at Echo Park. He does it in the mines of Detroit.
That's copper. They're just ripping out copper.
They're just ripping out sadness and copper.
Yeah.
You can see that. And what was that movie that we saw about that where it's Barbarian? It's on HBO right now. HBO Max, I think. Whatever it's called, HBO Next Max. Derek and I watched that when we were in Detroit together, when we were staying on Airbnb. Yes, fire away.
Best way to dip your toe into boutique. Like if you were gonna start into that world.
I mean, if you want to be like super safe, maybe Novo.
That was my thought.
I think and don't get me wrong.
That's the way. But if you're just intentionally saying I'm gonna go try boutique things.
And I would say like what you just said, like if I was trying it, I would take a road trip if there's anywhere near that you can get your hands on.
Yep.
Because some speak to you in outrageously unique ways. And like that's what I was saying earlier before we got cut off in our earlier feed, was that when I play the Echo Parks, I play differently than when I play my normal guitars.
Yes. Now, another great question. We're having good questions. We don't have to think of anything. What would you do first, boutique amp or boutique guitar? I know for me, I think probably boutique amp.
Right now, I might say boutique guitar. God. It's because you can't go wrong with a Fender.
Yeah. Amp.
Fender amp. That's what I mean, or a guitar, obviously. But amp wise, I mean, amp, you just know, if something goes wrong, I send it back is easy, and you got to have your sound maker, your noise machine, that working. I
just there's so many boutique amps I love.
I have so many boutique amp things.
And you don't have to worry about do I like the feel of this thing? Because there are boutique guitars that I have thought I was gonna love before, and I do love the way they sound. I love the way they look, but then I didn't maybe necessarily love the feel.
I agree.
And that element is out. Like if you like the way a boutique amp sounds, I mean, obviously there's how it reacts to your playing, which I guess is kind of
demoing too. That we get people will say, "Hey, we got this. Can we send it to you?" I'm like, I would love to see it. So just stick around for that. Watch